Good morning and welcome back to the channel. My name is Duru. I'm a design and building consultant here in Perth, Western Australia. Today, we are going to help someone with their floor plan. So I had someone reach out to me last week. The message read, "Hi Jem, we're preparing to own or build our own home in Western Australia. We have our design drafted, but we're not 100% happy with it and keep finding mistakes we've made and things we could do better. After coming across your YouTube videos, we're wondering if you provide consultation services. Would love for you to run your eye over our design and pick up on things we may have overlooked." So this is a really cool email for me to receive, and this is exactly what I'm trying to do with the little community we've got on the channel, and that's creating a safe space for people to reach out for help and ask for feedback on their floor plan. So I did give him a call and say, look, I'm happy to give you some help as long as you let me make a YouTube video about it. So here we are. I've got the floor plan in front of me and I'm going to share it with you guys. And what I would love for us to do is I'm going to go through my initial thoughts on the floor plan, some quick fixes that I can see. But if you want to write down your own thoughts in the comment section below, we can help Michael all together with his floor plan. And I think that would be something awesome for us to achieve. After speaking to Michael, he said that he had watched my pro tips on my YouTube channel, which has been great. And he said that after watching that, he feels as if there's a lot of detail that has been missed that could make a difference. And of course, coming to the source was a very, very smart move. So without further ado, let's get into the floor plan. Having a look at Michael's floor plan, it is a beautiful home. It is going to be situated on a larger block, and we've got, a longer driveway. There's going to be a granny flat. It's on a slightly sloping lot. So with today's floor plan, we're not going to change the layout. We're not going to focus on that. We are not going to change the orientation. We're going to leave pretty much everything where it is. What we are going to focus on today are the finer details within this floor plan, because I think that's what Michael is after. So work with me here. We're going to work our way from the left-hand side all the way through to the right, and I'm going to show you the things that I pick up on as we go. So we have bedroom 4 here on the left-hand side. It's got its own ensuite, and we've got this entry door kind of recessed in. So the first thing I would look at with this floor plan is the ensuite, right? So there's a couple of things in here that I feel like we could do better. The first is we really don't want to have the door opening onto the toilet. We want to have it opening onto the vanity. So the quickest and easiest fix here is to swap the location of the toilet and the vanity. And the other thing that I would recommend looking at is the depth of this shower recess. So whenever you're not sure about looking at a plan on computer, what I like to do is I print it out, I get my scale rule, and I just make sure that the dimensions make sense. So if I'm looking at this wall for the shower recess, it is about 700 millimeters in depth. So the first thing that I think is going to happen here that you might not want is a lot of splish splash is going to happen with the shower, because really 700 mil of brickwork isn't quite enough to stop water from coming out of that shower recess. So if you do want to have it configured this way, I would look to increase either this wall length, or I would have a hinge door on it. I understand that a lot of people, they don't want a glass door, but if we are going to have it open like this, just be aware that some water is going to splash out because this brickwork is not long enough. So that's the first and I guess easiest fix. If you want to take it one step further and potentially open up the way that we can look at furnishing this room, a quick and easy fix. And this is just presenting you with an additional option. This nice bit of corridor length here, and then, we're coming through, and then we've got our bedroom here, and then a door here. So something else that we could do that's going to solve a few problems at the same time is let's move this door and let's reconfigure this space. So this is just to provide another option. So this is another way we can actually reconfigure the ensuite. So we've got that hallway width, depth here that we can use. And now, if you want to furnish the room in a different way, or potentially put the TV on this wall, we can do that. So this is just presenting another option when it comes to how we can reconfigure this space. If we want to leave it with the door where it is on the original plan, at the very least, let's open the door onto the vanity. And also we want to make sure that we're getting as much light as possible. So I would have a look at making this window a little bit bigger. Other than that, I think that covers the bedroom for an ensuite 2 setup that we have. Now, moving on to the corridor here, the first thing I kind of was questioning was the internal width. Okay, so having a look here, the width is less than 900 mil. That's going to be really tight. So in a minor passageway width, we really want to have a minimum of 1 meter, depending on if we're going to have gyprock or float and set plaster. We just want to make sure that internally we've got at least 950 mil once everything is all said and done. So at the moment, I do feel like this space is a little bit too tight. So that's something that I would like for Michael to check. Moving on, we've got the powder room. I feel like it is okay. And then we've got our bathroom with a shower and the freestanding bath. Now, we have the same issue with the shower here. This bit of brickwork, I don't believe is going to be enough. The rest of the bathroom from all of the water spilling out. It is a very, very short bit of brickwork here. So potentially look at adding a door. Personally, I'm not a big fan of having the shower and bath set up like this. I've seen a lot of people do it. Actually, a lot of people request to have it this way. I'm not a big fan, but again, this is a personal preference. So I'm not going to comment too much on that because I've never met with Michael. I don't know what his preferences are. So I'm going to assume that this is desirable. So we'll leave that as is. Coming through, we've got our theater room. So the first thing we want to look at with this theater is it furnishable? So having a look on our plans here, we have about 1 meter on either side of the door, okay? So whether it's a stud frame wall or a brick wall, always having to check how much we have to ensure we've got enough space to put on a couch. So the first thing I would do is think about, all right, well, what type of furniture am I going to put in here? So this is, with both doors open, it's about 1100 mil in depth for each door. We do have the door centered to the room, which is great. But the issue you're going to have is if you have a couch that is slightly longer than 1100 mil, which a lot of them are 1200 or so, especially with the cushions that stick out a little bit, you're not going to be able to fully open the second door. So if you have a designated TV wall, which it looks like we do on this side, I would just off-center those double doors just a little bit so that we do have plenty of space for the couch on one side. That's my opinion on that. Just makes the room better to furnish because having 1100 mil of brickwork on the TV side is more than enough. I don't think you need really more than 800 mil. So even if we shifted these double doors across to the left by say, 200 to 300 millimeters, I think that way we can keep this side safe for the couch. So that's the feedback I've got on the theater. Study is fine, and I like the entry. It's going to be a beautiful wide entry with double doors. I really, really like that. And again, with the passageway, I would just make sure that we do have that 1200 mil width, which we do. So I think that main passageway is fine. Moving on to bedrooms 2 and 3, I think we can optimize this space a lot. So the first thing is I don't necessarily think we need to have double doors. Okay, so what I would do, and I'm going to explain why. I'm going to change one and then we can compare it to the original one. So let's redo this one. Okay, so the quick and easy fix where we're actually going to save a bit of money on this one, I would flip the way the robe is. So the first thing is we are now able to recess this entry door. Okay, so it's not coming off the passageway. It is a bedroom, so we want to try and make it feel as private and secluded as possible. So that's the first advantage we gain by flipping the robe from this configuration to this one. The next advantage we have is the fact that when the door is open and we're looking through into the room, we are seeing a blank wall. So we're not looking into people's things like we would here if both doors were open. This solves both problems. Both we've recessed the door and we're looking into the blank wall. And now I believe we can get rid of that internal door. I don't think it's necessary, but if you do want to add it back in, we can, and this is still going to be a more optimal design. So For bedrooms 3 and 2, I would reconfigure the robes this way. As I said before, let me know your thoughts if you've got any other input as we're going along. I'd love to hear it. So with the laundry, there's nothing too much to report other than the fact that I feel like it works really well. We've got a cavity slider, plenty of linen space, beautiful big laundry, and then moving on to our master bedroom setup. So the first thing I notice are these back-to-back doors. It feels like it's some kind of a game, to try and make it through different levels. So I'm gonna have a bit of a chat about fixing this. The other thing is these widths are far too narrow. So we wanna make sure that this shower recess is minimum 900 mil internally. This passageway, so between the vanity and the wall, we need to have minimum 1000 mil there as well for this passage. And then for this robe, I think that looks to be a good size, but 1.5 meters from wall to wall is the minimum that we would have there. And then we have this main entry door coming off the main passageway, which if you've been following the channel, I don't like to do that. So let's go ahead and fix this. Okay, so first things first is we will need to add width, about 850. It's a touch too tight. Okay, I would increase that depth there. And I'm also going to reconfigure this. So let's start drawing. All right, so the first thing is, I think we should swap the toilet and the WC, because that way, at least when the door is open, we're not looking straight down into the WC. If you want to get rid of the door, we can. If you want to keep the door, that makes sense as well. But I think it's just a better look to kind of open the door and look down into this shower recess. Whenever I'm looking at doing design, and the way that I try to visualize space is wherever I'm standing, I want to make sure that I can see as far down into that space as possible. So any chance I can remove a door, remove a brickwork, I do that, because that's what's going to make the home feel more open. So we've managed to do that by getting rid of this door. So even if you want to keep the door on the WC, at least we've opened up that space. If you want to leave the door on the ensuite, we can. Do we have to? Maybe not necessarily. If you're scared about, steam or whatever coming into this space, then we can go ahead and re-add that door back in. But I think this configuration works a lot better. So that's how I would do it if it were my home. Let me know what you think. And then moving on to this entry door, I would just add a little bit more of a recess for the doorway, because it looks like we're gonna have some cabinets or a shelf or a makeup desk or something here anyway. So we are not at a loss at all by recessing the door a little bit on this side. Last but not least, let's talk about the family dining. So this is going to be an awesome area. I think it's going to be absolutely stunning, huge veranda. The only thing that I would look to improve is the width. So we've only got about 4.4 meters of width. If you want this to feel really grand and open, I would try and increase that by 1000 mil. We've got amazing depth. Okay, but just for the sake of making this room more furnishable, so we've got over 10 meters of depth, but we need that width. Okay, so 4.5 on a home this size, even though we have the veranda, is quite small. So if it is possible, I would add as much depth, up to 1000 mil through that space, because then it's gonna give you that really big wow impact. Other than that, I'm really happy with everything. As I said, I haven't sat in on a design brief with Michael, don't know his budget, I don't even know what he looks like, but I hope that these tips have been helpful. Like I said before at the beginning of the video, if you've got any tips that you'd like to discuss, drop a comment below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.